Hi, welcome. Today I am going to be talking about a mini sleep reset that you can do if you're having challenges sleeping and sleep is evasive and not really going well for you. So we have rhythms in our body that regulate the sleep and wake cycles, the circadian rhythm. Most people have heard of them, and they're 24-hour cycles. We also have infradian rhythms, which is important for women to know about working with cycles. These are cycles that are longer than 24 hours and less than a year. So it can be a women's menstrual cycle or it can be seasonal cycles. And really important to know that there are times you're going to feel different throughout the month or throughout the year. A lot of women come in and report, "What's wrong with me? I'm so tired," or "I just don't want to do social things." And often that's an infradian rhythm. But today we're going to talk about the circadian rhythm, which are these 24-hour cycles. And they really help our body determine when we're sleepy, when to wake up. And they actually have the circadian rhythm has an effect on our hormone releases, our eating habits, the body temperature, mood, cognitive function when we're actually awake and alert. It affects our immune system and it affects our mental health as well. So basically, the circadian rhythm has a role in pretty much everything our body does. But the big one that we often associate it with is the sleep wake cycles. So there are certain things that you can do to help regulate this. So today I am going to walk you through a mini sleep reset. And if you want more tips on sleep regulation, I have an upcoming webinar that I'm doing on August 14th, and I'll put the link in the bio notes where I'm going to go through a lot of foods and other supportive things that you can do for sleep. But today, let's talk about a mini sleep reset. So my name is Angela Warburton. For those of you that don't know me, I am an Eastern medicine practitioner, been working with women in the clinic for over 25 years, and I pull in very holistic, whole person-based medicine, time-tested, but combined with the latest science that we have on understanding the body. I'm really here to give you the tools to understand your midlife body, menopause, perimenopause, and give you the tools to apply to your daily life so you can feel better and enjoy this process and understand it from a more holistic perspective. So welcome. Okay, so this mini sleep reset. So because we know the circadian rhythm affects our sleep and wake cycles, it's important that we use and work with how we are living every day to work in alignment. So when the sun comes up, that stimulates our cortisol production. So cortisol is the hormone that gives us that get up and go, the motivating hormone. It wakes us up, it makes our mind alert, it stimulates us to get going and to have action. So as the sun comes up, our cortisol levels will spike in the day. So that's good. That's a healthy use of cortisol. So the light wakes us up, it stimulates that. And then at night, so the cortisol should peak at midday and then start to go down. And at night, the sleep hormones, which most people know this, I recognize, I'm just going to give you a bit of container, but is melatonin. And melatonin should start to rise at midday and it peaks at midnight. And so that is our sleep hormone. And so that is when we're naturally going to start to feel a little more of a decrease in energy as the day goes on. And that's normal, and we'll get a little sleepy as it starts to get dark out or that red light comes from sunset. Um, Fortunately, we have ways of being in our lifestyle where we're getting a lot more light all the time. We know this. And so we've been told like the shorter, brighter wavelength lights, the blue lights, they are going to stimulate our body in an artificial way that wakes us up. So limiting blue light for sure at nighttime is really important. Little tools like tips like limiting overhead lights at nighttime, really important because the more light that we have, it sort of stimulates and it simulates daytime. And so that's going to wake us up. And so I have a little teeny bug around here. So we want the shorter wave light. We want to limit that at nighttime, and that's okay more in the morning, that bluer light. And then we want to increase the longer wave light at nighttime. And that's the more we have the artificial light or that blue light, it's more it's going to degrade our sleep. We know this. I know you know this. The thing when we have degraded sleep, everyone, you can miss sleep for a couple of days and it just sucks. But it also can contribute to diabetes, to obesity, to cancer, depression, dementia. So there's some real effects of having sleep that's been impaired. And they found what's interesting is researchers have been studying this obviously for a long time. They found that light in the evening, artificial light in the evening, about 2 hours before and after your usual bedtime, can shift your circadian rhythm to about 2 hours later per day than normal. So if you're ever someone who gets that second wind where you're like, I don't know, I was sleepy around 8, and then all of a sudden I got the second wind and I couldn't go to bed till 1, that's artificially shifting your bedtime later. And what that does is it stimulates cortisol in a time when you should be going to sleep. And so that's not real energy, that's your adrenal glands basically producing more, or stimulated to produce more cortisol. So you're like, I'm up, let's go. So if you're having sleep troubles, this is something to pay attention to. And what they found is, so sleep 2 hours before or after your normal bedtime is going to shift it to later. But when you have morning light, about 1 hour before or after your usual wake up time, can shift your sleep for about an hour earlier per day. So the earlier and the more light, natural light, ideally full face in the sun in the morning light that you get, the better. Um, but no matter what the source of light, the fewer, what they say, photons per second hitting the retina at night, the lower the circadian effect, the less stimulating it's going to be. So you really want to have soft ambient light at night. So dim lights, ambient light, like floor, side lamps versus overhead, really important. And the more you can increase the distance between the eye and the source of light, the lower the adverse impact of the light will be. So if you have a phone at 18 inches versus 9 inches, it will be the further away it is for you, the better it is, because it will be fewer photons hitting your eye. So that's great. So little things you can do. But if you're really struggling with sleep and you need a reset, I'm going to invite you to consider this. Now, you have to obviously pick the time, but there are 3 types of natural light, and one of those is a candle light, so the flame. And the red light of the flame actually helps to stimulate the production of melatonin. So I don't know if any of you have ever gone camping. I'm in nature right now, and or it's summer, so we have where I am. So there's light later, and we haven't been putting on any side lamps, any overhead lamps, and just sort of moving with nature. And by 8:30, I'm like, and good night, because my body's naturally, we watch the sunset, and then it's naturally, I'm just going to bed, and I'm getting up really early. And so my body's just been in sync more with nature, and my sleep is deeper, and it's earlier and up earlier, and I have more natural energy. If you're in the city, there's a lot of lights outside. So this reset, you can do a candle light reset, which is for 3 days. Even if you start with one day, I bet you'll notice a difference, but ideally 3 days. If you just use candlelight at night, you're probably like, oh my God, what am I going to do? I can't read, can't watch movies, can't do that. And that's part of it. You're going to have to just step away from some of those like some of the habits that you have. You can have fun with it. You can play cards by candlelight. You can do talk by candlelight. You can listen to music, whatever it is. But candlelight after it gets dark, easier in the summer because the sun sets later, but great to do in the winter because we should be sleeping in circadian rhythms. We should have these different cycles as the year goes on. So winter, we want to sleep more. We want to rest more. And then the summer, we naturally have more energy. But in the summer, because it's light later, you might get away with just not putting on any lights. And then when you do, have it be candlelight. And it's amazing what this can do to reset. People will notice that they feel tired earlier and can naturally go to bed because they're not flicking on overhead lights. If you're worried about, getting up in the night to go to the bathroom or you need light, you can get little red lights that you can put in that give you enough light to get around, but they're not going to stimulate you because flipping on a vanity above the mirror in the bathroom can immediately shut off your melatonin production. And so we really want to, so when you're just shifting to candlelight, just the warm light, natural light from the red light from the candle, do it for 3 days as it gets dark, see how your body feels, and that should shift your rhythm to your circadian rhythm to go to bed earlier and wake up earlier in the morning, but also get a deeper, more restful, more natural sleep. So hopefully that's helpful for you. I know some people are like, what? There's no way I could do that. But just give it a try. See what you can do. And even if it's just like shutting down the overhead lights, any screens down early, you'll notice a difference with that. But the candlelight one, I tell you, it can really make a difference. So hopefully that was helpful for you. If you enjoyed the video, please hit like. I always love hearing from you, so please always feel free to comment. I'm sharing always more little micro things that you can do at home to understand your body or shift how you're living to feel better. So you can subscribe to the channel. And if you know anyone that you think would benefit from this, please feel free to send it on to them. So thank you for being here. I will see you next time, and I hope you have a beautiful, restful sleep.